commercial banker at Wheaton Bank and Trust and located at Glen Ellen Bank and Trust. Okay, how are you, Mr. Whale?
I'm doing good. How are you today?
I'm good. Are you ready?
I am.
Okay. Who decides when a customer should be granted credit by the company, built on account rather than paying cash at the time of sale?
Well, usually that's going to be a credit manager or someone who has some knowledge of whoever that customer is. Because you want to make certain that if you're going to grant credit, that it's a high likelihood you're going to get repaid. So you want to have a little bit of background on that company, how have they paid others.
Okay. And for purpose of estimating an allowance, does the company use percentage of sales or percentage of receivable method?
I would use percentage of receivable as opposed to percentage of sales.
And why is that?
Because you may have certain sales that aren't actually, once you collect it, so as an example, you may have a sale that's a direct cash sale. That really wouldn't affect your receivables, so you don't want to have that in the mix. Whereas if you're just looking at comparing receivables to receivables, you don't want to have the cash sales in that. And so that's why.
And who ultimately approves write-offs to bad debts when accounts are uncollectible?
Most of the time, it really depends on who's going to make that decision within the business. So smaller businesses, chances are it's the business owner. As businesses get bigger, you may have a credit manager. We talked a little bit about that in an earlier question. It may be that individual. It really kind of depends on the size and sophistication of the business, but most smaller businesses, it's probably going to be the business owner, because at the end of the day, really, that comes out of their pocket.
Okay, and what if any effort is made to collect on accounts both before and after a write-off occurs?
Well, the best way to do it is to attempt to collect well before you ever have a write-off. In fact, what I recommend to most businesses is that if they're going to offer trade terms where it's a net 30 or something along that line, is that they have a written in-house policy on how they're going to go about collecting that money. As an example, if your sales, what you want to try to do is invoice as soon as you can after the time of sale. So if your terms are net 30 and you're invoicing immediately upon the sale, then presumably you'll collect in 30 days. If, let's say, you're getting to the 25th day and you haven't collected yet, it certainly is acceptable to call that client and say, will you be able to pay by that certain date? Many people are very reluctant to do that, and what they do is they wait till after that net 30. And by doing so, you're just delaying when you're going to get your money back. The other thing that is very important is to make certain you're invoicing timely, because if the terms are net 30, but let's say you're billing out just at the end of the month, and you're doing sales throughout the month, what may happen then is, on average, you just added 15 days to your collection, because they're not going to pay until net 30 from invoice date, not necessarily net 30 from when that good or service was sold. So I highly recommend to business owners invoice promptly and start collecting before it's due. And then after it's due, don't be bashful about calling, trying to get your money. And what you really want to be careful of is if you have stale invoices, so now you've got an invoice that's been out there for 90 days, 120 days, stop doing additional work. Stop sending them additional product, because it may be a credit problem. And now you're throwing good money after bad. So you want to be very careful of that.
Okay. Well, those are all my questions for today. Thank you for your time, and I hope I'll be talking to you soon.
Absolutely. Thank you.